Before we start, this video ain't for everybody. Just know that. And parental discretion is advised. You dig? Off top, I gotta get me. Give me me. You heard me? Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about sex over 60. We're gonna talk about it before then, but we're gonna talk about that too. I had a conversation recently with some ladies. I was the only guy, of course. I don't know why it always play out that way, but let's get into it. The subject was about saying no to somebody, not just to anybody, but to the people that you love and to family members and to people that's close with you, right? And for some reason that came up. I didn't bring it up, but it came up. So they talked about it. We didn't get too in depth about it, but I'm going in on here. So they were like, one of the ladies, she was like, well, we all adults in here. Let's talk about this. So we talked about it. Her thing was how like she had this issue with her husband. I'm not saying it still, but this is what she brought up. She had an issue with her husband. Her thing with her husband was that he always wanted something at the wrong time, so to speak. Like, and the consensus were the same to some extent with some of the other ladies, right? So it's like her, okay, let me just put it how she said it. She don't mind him waking her up, but don't wake me up at 3 o'clock when you know I got to be up at 3:30 anyway. That's like breaking your sleep. And that's why I say that was a consensus between her and another lady, because she was like, I love my sleep and he know I love my sleep. Don't come waking me up. When I'm going up the stairs, you know I'm going upstairs. You watching TV. You know what you want before you want it. If you see me going upstairs, you need to follow me upstairs and we good. You know what I'm saying? That was the other lady, what she said. They both said that the man would just sit downstairs or sit wherever on watching TV or whatever they were doing, you know, and then they wanted to wait till the last minute, so to speak, and then want to say whatever, right? Now, the other person said that her person, let me make sure I get it right because I don't want to misquote. Anyway, her thing was they had her and her husband has a running joke about the Bernie Mac situation, the Bernie Mac joke. And if I'm correct about that, I think it's the one about the marinating, right? Because she mentioned that, you know what I'm saying, she think men just want to be like what Bernie Mac said. And that's where basically they want it marinated. They ain't worried about get up and go take a bath or whatever, right? And she was like, that'll never happen. But that was between her and her husband. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say this is where I'm going with that. So I'm going to touch on some of that and I'm going to touch on some of my own stuff, right? So the first thing about that is just because you're over 50 or 60 don't mean you don't want get you. You feel what I'm saying? And y'all know it's the truth. But I will say that in life, some people have medical issues and some people have issues that may not even be medical, but they not really into it like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because some men have what they call ED, and some women have, I don't know the term, but they just not interested anymore, or they dried up, not dried up, but you get the picture. I don't want to go too deep. But no pun intended. But anyway, let me move on. So what I was saying about that is, so everybody is not interested in that once they pass a certain age. Now, in my opinion, that's just a few and far in between, because most people still have that urge. Even if you can't, even if you have issues or whatever the situation, most people have that urge. And the reason I say that is because I know another person. This was not a long time ago, but a good while back. We were having a conversation with a group of us, right? And they were talking about, the guy said, yeah, my wife, she hooked me up with these herbs. You know what I'm saying? And they were talking about certain types of herbs, and he was showing them what type of herbs they were. And he said, yeah, this one right here helps me, or keeps me able to, how did he say it? Keep me able to play or something, however he said it. And then the lady mentioned, like, but anyway, she just mentioned, basically, I want to play sometime. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I think at the time she probably was 65 years old. So I'm saying, and y'all, and you didn't heard the saying cougars and all of that. I mean, let me just say this, man. Unless you dead, you want what you want. You feel what you feel. And like I say, whether you can or not, you still have those urges sometimes. That's my opinion. Don't kill the messenger. That's my opinion. And speaking from my perspective, it is what it is. Just give me me. But anyway, that's a real thing. Sex over 60. That's a real thing. I saw this young, and I'm gonna tell this last little sidebar, and I'm gonna move on. But I did this gig this weekend, and I saw this couple. They were an older couple, and then the young girl, I don't know if she was the granddaughter or the daughter, but if she was the daughter, they had her late in life, because she had to be in her early 20s or early to mid 20s or whatever, or maybe I misjudged, but that's what she looked like to me. So moving forward, so long story short, they were dancing, right? And then the mama turned around on the daddy, right? And the girl was dancing too, but she made her way over there. She was like, we ain't doing this. She started pushing them away from each other and all of that kind of stuff. Because the mama turned around, she backing it up on daddy, right? But the little girl, I guess she wasn't no little girl, but I guess she figured, that's TMI right there. We ain't about to do this. My little brain can't take that. But anyway, I'm just saying all of that to say is, when you younger and you look at older people and you think they shouldn't be doing this or they shouldn't be doing that, mind your business, you heard me? Just mind your business and stay out of grown folks' business. But anyway, to be serious, that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't, in my opinion, and for most people, some people do. But you don't lose that urge. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it is what it is. So let me get it back into what I was going to say about the ladies that I first mentioned. When I was younger, I learned that, and even now today, but it's different. The way I learned was, you don't just go ask somebody for something. And I'm not talking about strangers and all that. I'm talking about your person. So one thing about me, I'll never ask, can I have or can I do? I'll never do that. That's just who I am, because of what I learned. And I don't know where I learned it all, but I learned what I learned from wherever I learned it from. But it was always this thing about spontaneity, however you say it, being spontaneous, spontaneity, or whatever, however, being spontaneous. It was always a thing that women said, you gotta be spontaneous, you gotta be romantic, you gotta do this, you gotta set the mood, you can't just jump on something and just go, you know what I'm saying? And I get that. I get it 100%. So like I said, in my younger years, that's who I was. You know what I'm saying? You don't supposed to be planning nothing, and you don't supposed to planning not mean planning to say later can I, But as life takes over, you have to do that. You can't, because you have those people that say, you know what, I get up at 3:30 in the morning. If you won't do something, you better let me know early so it don't throw me off. Or, you ain't getting none of this unless it's just out the shower. Because we don't do the marinated. We don't do the marinated thing, right? So in those instances, and I've learned that over the years, in those instances, you have to make a plan. Even after you start having children, you can't just, sometimes you have to go when you can go, because children will stay up all night and they'll do this and they wear you out and all of that kind of stuff like that. That's another reason why some women lose the urge too after they start having kids, because now they're working, they're taking care of the kids, they're tired all day long, and now here you come and you want to whatever. Sometimes women start having babies and gaining weight and all of that kind of stuff, and they're not comfortable with their bodies. And a lot of times that's why they're not really interested in that. They don't want you to see what they're not happy with and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing. That's a big part of it too. You know what I'm saying? Some women don't worry about it, but a lot of women do. And so all of that plays a part in it. So sometimes we just got to work through those type of things and figure it out. And if we got to get counseling, we get counseling and talk about it and just work it out, because those things are life. They're reality. A lot of people's reality. You have to, at a certain age or a certain point in life, and it's not about age, it's about the situation around it, right? It's one thing to be spontaneous. It's another thing to be romantic and setting the mood and planning and all of that. But when life takes over, you have to schedule that in. People don't want to hear that, but it's a reality, because now we ain't 18 and 20 years old where we ain't got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to get up for work at 4 o'clock in the morning and be there all day, and then come home after being stressed out all day long and X, Y, and Z, and take out the trash and fix the car and do. I'm not talking about me, because anyway. But for the average person, and we were really talking about the female side of it, but she's done all of this, been at work, now she got to come home and make sure she cook and the kids eat and get bathe and baths and make sure you good when you come in and all that kind of stuff. And now she's preparing for the next day. She wore out. So the best thing to do is to make a plan. Not to say, okay, we going to do this every Monday and Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Or every Monday and Wednesday or whatever. Not like that, but make a plan. Hey, what's up? It's been a little while. You think, you know what I'm saying, we could hook up tomorrow evening or whatever, the weekend or whatever. Put it out there. You know what I'm saying? People don't like that. But at a certain point in life, you have to do that, because now you got all of this other shit. Like I said, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, so I'm going to move on. But you have to do that. The The being spontaneous is cool, but again, some people don't. Just like people used to say, and I still hear it in the conversation today, or in some of the talk, some of the podcasts and talk shows and stuff like that. To catch a man at the door when he's coming in and do what he like. Y'all know what that is. I'm not comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not comfortable with that. So now I can understand what the other lady meant by she ain't comfortable with the marinated situation, right? That sounds good. It's something that would be great, but I'm still not comfortable with it. At least let me go, whatever. So I can get that. And it's the same as when men have this thing of, let me just hook you up. That's a thing. You know what I'm saying? For some of us, not for everybody, because everybody ain't about that. But it's a thing. But again, some women not into that. Nah, I've been working all day. I've been whatever. I'm sweaty. I'm this. Sometimes men don't care, but it's a thing for women. So I get that. So that's what I mean by you can't always just be spontaneous. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are other ways that you can be spontaneous. I imagine you just got to figure it out and work it out or whatever. But all in all, y'all both got to be on the same page, and you can't get frustrated or mad when she say no. Now, if she's saying no all the time, that's a different. Y'all need to work that out. Maybe do some counseling or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's a different issue there, or a lower line issue, or whatever. That's a whole nother issue. Because like I said, everybody don't lose. Some people lose. There's a what is it? When they're younger and they have postpartum pregnancy or whatever, however it's called. But when they're younger, sometimes in that postpartum, it'll take a lot of that away from them. You know what I'm saying? And when they get older, even after menopause, that'll change too sometimes. Sometimes menopause make them want it even more. And sometimes it'll make them just not want to be bothered with it. There's a lot of different reasons why those things happen. But all I'm saying is, this is something you have to work out. You know what I'm saying? Because just because we older don't mean we don't want it. Just because we older don't mean it's not attractive. Just because we tired don't mean we don't. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things now that play a part that didn't when we were younger. Like I said before, when we were young, when the wind blow, it was Chinese arithmetic going on. You feel me? But it's not always that. And I've heard people say on TikTok and different little platforms, how they say that? If I gotta help you to get there, then you ain't getting on there. You don't want it. That ain't always the truth. Like I say, some people have medical situations. Some people have ED. Some people have, you know what I'm saying? And some people, they just need a little help getting there. But once they there, they there. You feel what I'm saying? And I know that there's pills and all of that out there, and the honey packs and all that kind of shit. I just don't trust it for me. I'm going to be, y'all know I like to be transparent, not to just tell my business. But I'm not on the pill yet. And I don't think that I need the pill all the time. Sometimes I could probably use it to do a little help, but it's going to still do what it's going to do. Let me quit playing, because y'all know I'm just playing. But for real, if I ever had to do the pill, I would admit to that. You understand? But all I'm saying is, don't think that when you get a certain age, it's over with. Nah. Because some people think that, oh, he just said it's over for you. No, it ain't over. It ain't over. But the whole concept of this video is that, number one, you'll never get too old for sex. And it's important. It's still important. Just because you're older don't mean it's not important or it gets less important. And number two, sometimes you have to plan. You just have to. Planning, whatever that means to you. You have to plan. So your woman don't always tell you no whenever you catch her at the wrong time. Like I said, what these women said earlier on. He wait till the last minute and then he won't jump on me. Or he watched TV all night and then I done went to bed an hour before he came to bed. Now he want to wake me up and he know I got to get up at a certain time. Or I get up at 3:30. I get up at 3:30. He want to wake me up at 3 o'clock. That's not good. So that's what I mean by that. Talk to your person. Make arrangement. I mean, we don't want to do that because of what we've been taught. You know what I'm saying? You got to be spontaneous. It's got to be basically you got to be spontaneous. It's got to be magical. It's got to be, the mood got to be set. I'm telling you, all the way down to when I was younger, I used to have candles going, the house smelling good. That was just the way I learned, right? But sometimes you don't have no time to do all of that when you get older. You know what I'm saying? And life start lifing. You got to get what you can get when you can get it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just jump out there and want to get that when she been in a situation. And sometimes for the men too, because some women are nymphos, even in the older age. Like I say, after the change in life, some of them want it even more, and some of them might want it less or not at all, but some of them do want it more. But even in the younger, not in the middle age women, sometimes they want it all the time too. And you be like, damn, I done seen comedic videos about that where they say, damn, we just did something 15 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, whatever, and she read it again, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. But so it's not always just the women, it's the men too. It's like, bro, we just did something, I gotta go to work in the morning, or I just came from work, we just did something, and you read it again, anyway, we ain't 18 no more, we ain't 20 no more, you know what I'm saying? And even for them ones, eventually that's gonna run out too. You know what I'm saying? Give me a good twice a week, I'm straight. You know what I'm talking about? But my point again is, even though we don't like it, even though they don't like it, even though, in my opinion, they're the ones who set that standard, you know what I'm saying? About the plan, about the spontaneous and romantic and setting the mood and the foreplay and all of that kind of stuff. Now, you got to have some foreplay. You can't just jump in it. You got to have some foreplay. I get that. But I'm not even talking about taking that out. I'm talking about just letting them know. You know how you feel before you feel it. If I'm feeling a certain way, I could be at work. And what's up with it? You know what I'm saying? You don't got to say, hey, honey, can you pencil me in this evening at this time? And man, come on, bro. Babe, what's happening? I'm feeling some kind of way. What's up with it? And then she could tell you then if she not feeling well, or if she's tired, or if she got something going on. And she might even say, babe, can we just hook up tomorrow or whatever, or the weekend, whatever. I'm just saying, put that out there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got options. Cause I'm gonna go do me, and I'll still see you tomorrow. You heard me? Anyway, let me quit playing. But y'all know, you know what I'm talking about, because now you done put it out there. And you see what it's about, what it's hitting for. And so you can act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, don't think that once you get a certain age, that's gone. Don't think that planning something is a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Being spontaneous is great. It's a great thing. I'm not taking nothing away from that. But you ain't gonna always be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing, and I'm gonna get out of here, is still important. It might not be that important to everybody, but for the most part, it's important. Sex over 60 is important. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And if you know, you know. Again, to some people, they got medical issues. Some people, they done went through the change in life, the menopause. Some people, they done had babies and they got postpartum, however you say it, and they have real situations they dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And some people, they just tired of you. No, I'm just playing. Because you ain't the same as you used to be. Or you just want... But anyway, that's a joke. But I'm sure there's people out there like that too. But we ain't going to touch on that. That was really just a joke. So make a plan, man. Do what you got to do and get what you need. And make sure they get what they need. That's one of the biggest things. And everybody going to be good. You feel me? So that's all I got on that. I got a lot more, but I ain't going to keep on going because I can go when it comes to that. Let me tell you. But anyway, y'all be easy. We'll see you in the next one. One love.